So recently, I started playing Melty Blood. That led me to Tsukihime, and since I didn't know it was a visual novel, I ended up watching the anime. No, not Carnival Phantasm. By Tsukihime anime, I mean the old one made around 2003. Although it wasn't the best show I've ever seen, I must say that I did like it quite a bit. So I was actually quite surprised when I saw a bunch of people saying that it was horrible, down to the point of saying that it didn't even exist. Today, let's take a look at the Tsukihime anime, why it doesn't exist, and why we should reconsider its status as non-existent. Oh yeah, by the way, there's gonna be a truckload of spoilers for the visual novel Tsukihime here too, so keep that in mind. So let's get this elephant out of the room as quickly as we can. Why do people hate the damn anime so much anyways? We can ultimately break the hate down to a few main points. 1. It was a bad adaptation of the original work. 2. The art and animation was bad. 3. The voice actors were inexperienced. Let's take a closer look at these points, shall we? For the first one, the show sort of ended up more like a mishmashed hodgepodge of the routes slapped onto Arquaid's route. For example, there was the tea ceremony scene from CL, the welcoming party from Akiha, flashbacks similar to the ones from the maid routes, and more. The pace was also super slow and some of the characters didn't act like they did in the visual novel. In this show, Tsundere Akiha and CL's love of curry all hang out with Bigfoot in Half-Life 3. For the second one, the fight scenes weren't choreographed too well, and there were a lot of serious scenes completely ruined by goofy faces or the characters looking like they're straight out of Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's also way too many scenes where the characters just kinda stand around talking, and there's even more effects that look like they're out of some 11-year-old's bad SFM animation. Last but not least, some of the voice actors were inexperienced, with critical characters like Arquaid being the actor's literal first job. This leads to delivery with, to put it lightly, more to be desired. I mean, here's a perfect example.
人間風情が私に刃を向けるとはふざけるな!
The dub doesn't seem to suffer from this as much though. Quite the opposite, in fact. They actually got Wendy Lee, yes, that Wendy Lee, and Michelle Ruff to be in the English version. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Mark, you just gave us 1,000 reasons not to watch this show, so why should I even bother with it? Well, that's a very good point you have there. I think that you should give this show a chance because it's actually a pretty fun watch, especially the English version. It's also a pretty good introduction to the Tsukihime and Fate series. It's kind of like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, broken to the point of perfection. And by that, I mean that to properly enjoy it, you kinda just have to sit back and laugh at it rather than treat it seriously like the original visual novel. I mean, was it necessary for them to add an entire pointless episode about Shiki and his friends going to the fun fair? No, but does it ruin the whole show necessarily? Also no. If you're looking for a more serious way to see the story, I can't recommend you enough the visual novel or the manga, because it's probably more up your alley. Hell, if it weren't even for this show, I would have never gotten the chance to see the visual novel in the first place, so I'm pretty grateful for it in that regard. But even if after watching this you're still firm on the Tsukihime anime not existing, that's cool too. I hope in the future you change your mind, but until then, this has been Mark, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
There's no way that a mouse could kill a scorpion. Dude, a mouse could kill a sharp claws.
A rat could kill a scorpion.
Well, no shit, Frank, but we're not talking about a rat. We're talking about a little mouse.
Talking about a rat, it still would lose.
No,
My
it's a
son
little mouse fighting a scorpion. And that is final. Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care!
Yumitsuka's right.